Afternoon, guys.
I don't think there's an injury report per se, but just in general, like the team came back, some of the guys have been nicked up in the games. I think we saw everybody, but maybe one or two. So in general, how did they come back?
For the most part, they came back pretty good, so it's probably the healthiest we're going to be all year. Get ready for a 10-game stretch.
Todd, looking back at the Thursday game, from a game management standpoint, the fourth quarter, you get the ball, you do end up scoring that touchdown, but it took quite a while, 17 plays. Looking back at it, would that have been a situation where maybe going a little more up-tempo could have saved you more time and given you more time when you got the ball back?
Yeah, we've talked about that. We always wanted to go quicker. We knew we were down 2 scores and had to go quicker. There were some penalties involved and some things that we got to get communicated, but we definitely want to be faster.
You start potentially a run of a bunch of games here in the next 6-7 weeks against rookie quarterbacks. You've had runs where your teams do very well against rookies. You've other times where rookies have gotten you a little bit. Is there anything you think about doing differently, or anything you advance, or do you just not think about any general sweeping things when it comes to facing rookies?
I don't think you think about it. You got to prepare for the team. They're part of what they do as a team, not as opposed to them individually. Then if you can try to steal some things or 1 or 2 things you see, if you see anything, you try to take advantage of that, but mostly you just prepare for the team.
During this mini bye, how much did you reevaluate what you guys are doing on third down, defensively speaking, and have you put your finger on what the woes have been there?
We reevaluated everything, but on third down, it's a different person every time, or it's a different thing every time. So there's not one thing we put a finger on. We just know we got to be better, and we're looking at doing some things different from that standpoint.
Are you a bit surprised by that, just considering how many? I know you have new pieces, but you do have a lot of holdovers who have been in the system for a few years now that it hasn't clicked.
But the chemistry's got to come together. Like I said, I'm not surprised. I mean, we are what we put out there. We got to be better.
Third down's a big pass rush down if you get a team in good, must-throw situations. And I know, like, overall the numbers aren't that bad, but in terms of those outside linebackers, whether that's Joe Tryon, Shaq, are you getting production from them like you would hope to at this point?
We were. I think last game was the first game. I didn't see the production from that position, and we talked about that, and we know we got to be better there because that's one of our premier pass rush positions.
And Anthony Nelson, for the number of plays he plays, has always been highly productive. Is there any thought of playing him even more just because of his numbers, or is he in that role? Is that why he's productive? Is he gets premium looks?
He's in the rotation. He plays a good amount. I mean, the first 4 guys play a good amount. Cam probably plays the least, but they all get their turn. We got to be better all the way around. I know he got a sack and Yaya got one, but we got to be better from a pressure standpoint, not necessarily from a sack standpoint, but you got to at least harass the quarterback.
There's been a lot of discussion about the offense that, we're almost there, we're this close to figuring it out. It's understandable with the new offense, new system, new quarterback this season, but we're multiple weeks into the season now. Like, when does the line get drawn in terms of, like, all right, the growing pains are over and the offense needs to start producing?
I wish I could tell you that. I don't think the lines never get drawn when it's over. You're always adjusting every week. Some weeks are better than others. Some weeks they take it away. Some weeks we miss some things. So it doesn't ever get drawn. We just got to keep hammering at it, and we got to do the things that it helps to win the ball game.
You guys lead the NFL in turnover margin. Obviously, that's one of the things you guys do best. But your starting secondary doesn't have any interceptions yet. I don't know that there have been that many interceptable passes for those 4 guys. Is there just the thought that how much even better you could get in that department if those guys can get involved in that?
Well, we can get a lot better. Anytime Will Golston has more interceptions than our starting secondary, you want to get better in that area. So he has bragging rights right now, and I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult.
For Will it is. And then your defense, when you think about yards and points, you have the biggest discrepancy of any team in the league in that you're 7th in points allowed, but 25th in yards allowed. Obviously, you'd like both to be plenty high, but would you point to your red zone success there, or turnovers, or why there's a big disparity for you there?
It's the red zone and the turnovers, out in the field, and the ball's not going over our head. It's more of catch and run plays where we got to be better from a zone concept standpoint. Our eyes are bad, and we're working on that this week. Our eyes are bad. They can catch a 3 or 4 yard pass and go 15 to 17 yards. Those things add up. We got to be better from a zone conceptual standpoint.
So trade deadline is tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Traditionally, this has not been a team that's made a lot of deals this time of year. I assume, do you feel like your team, it's only 3 and 4, right? We're not even halfway through the season. You feel you would be more of a buyer than a seller, or just, you want to stay pat with what you have in general when you talk with Jason?
I think more now we're listeners. It's got to fit us, and it's got to come that way. We're not looking to buy or sell, but we're looking to listen. If anything comes about, we'll take a look at it.
Todd, you get a rare Sunday off. Did you TV scout? Are you watching a lot of games yesterday? What were you doing?
I watched a bunch of games. I worked for a little bit, and I came back and watched a bunch of games. You can learn a lot from situational football watching different games.
Were you able to get to Jacksonville on Saturday? Or?
No, I worked Saturday, and I kind of got some rest.
How do you
One
feel?
more, please.
How do you feel Baker is doing at this point?
Baker's doing fine. It's an offense as a total. Obviously he gets all the credit when we win, and he gets most of the blame when we lose. But Baker's doing fine. He's captaining the ship very well. He had no turnovers last game. We just got to get in sync there.
Thanks.
Yep.